Hey everyone, it's Jeremy. This is a late night video. It's 9:35 p.m. here. I got a little light action going on right there. I'm going to leave them on this time per someone's request. And I got some cats saying hello already. And we're going to do this video now. Title of this video is Moving On from the Twin Flame Runner and Surrendering. So let me share some things before I get into this video. Some prerequisites, if you will. Hi Dido. Prerequisites, yes. So the majority of cases I've been witnessing in the twin flame situation is one person who can't wait for this reunion. One person who can't wait to reconnect with this other person. I'm a little sweaty. And it's not happening. The other person is not reciprocating. The other person is not treating them well. And yet there's a deep connection there from the person who wants to connect. This is what I'm seeing. So all I'm doing is observing reality as it is in the majority of cases. And the situation is an incredibly emotionally charged and feeling situation for the chaser who wants to reconnect so badly. And I don't want to take away from that. I don't want to take away from the chaser or the person who wants to reconnect so badly. I just want to state the situation as it is. I was once in this situation. Hey, it's a kitty tail. There he goes. I was once in that situation. I know exactly what it's like to want to reconnect so badly, to just can't wait for this reunion to come, can't wait for all these things to happen. And I remember what that was like, and I have great empathy for those of you in that situation. Tremendous empathy. But I'm here to tell you that you cannot move on from the situation from a state of emotion and feeling like that. You are going to be perpetually stuck for the rest of your life, dependent on someone else somehow turning over a new leaf and connecting with you. And for those of you in the situation where you have chased and the runner has disappeared, this puts you in a state of perpetuity. You're continually hoping that you'll reconnect with this person, that the situation is so sacred that you will wait your whole life, that you will spend all of your days working on yourself, purging and cleansing yourself. Working on yourself is a good thing. Improving yourself is a good thing. You are welcome to continually hold on to hope that this other person is going to reconnect with you. You have free will and the choice to do so. But for many of you, this is not working, and this includes me. This did not work. This proved to be futile. And so now I want to talk about, how do you move on from the twin flame? How do you move past it so that you're no longer yearning to reconnect with them or come into this union with them? So let me share that with you now, because that's where I have gotten to. And it's taken a lot of work to get to that place. It's been hard. It's worn me out, but I got there. And so let me share some of the things that helped me get there, and hopefully you'll be able to take some of those things and possibly come up with some things on your own, because I don't have all the answers. I'm just one guy sharing his perspective on the whole situation so that you can move on with your life and not be fixated so much on this other person. So step number one to moving on. Decide that you're going to move on. Yeah, decide that you're going to move on. A decision is a very interesting thing, because a decision is what actually makes change. Your thoughts don't create change, unfortunately. It'd be nice if they did. Thoughts repeatedly start to create change and will change your decisions. But a few thoughts here and there, that will not work. And so once you've decided that you're going to move on, the next step after that decision is to then do the things of someone who has moved on. And it's interesting, everyone, because you've already done those things in your life. What were you doing before you met that person? What were you like? What hobbies were you participating in? Who were you interacting with? What were you doing before that person came into your life? And the answer is right in front of you. You were living your life. You were doing things. You were seeing people. You probably went on dates with other people, depending on who you are. Some of you don't date. That's fine. For me personally, one of the main ways I got over her was to branch out and meet a bunch of other people by dating. And I did that. And I realized, holy smokes, there's so many different people out here. There's so much of a variety of people. There's many people that I've met that I'm like blown away by, that I would have never have met had I stayed fixated on the other person in this situation. Now, some of you might say, that's blasphemous. You're not a twin flame. Let me tell you, I felt so incredibly connected to the person that I refer to as my twin flame. A deep soul level connection beyond anything I'd ever felt. I know there was something deeply important there. Call it a catalyst, call it a twin flame. I felt it and I experienced it. The completing each other's sentences. It's all there in my memory. I'm not treating this like just some simple person that poof, I've just gotten over. I mean, it took me 7 months of crying nonstop just to get over them. I cried my eyes out. That's another thing you need to do, is let yourself cry and weep and accept that this person is out of your life. Cry and weep. And it's okay. Cry and weep. You don't need to continually hold this space in your heart for the other person. You don't need to do that. You can move on. I know it feels good. I know it feels good to have the rush of emotion, to have someone say, it's all coming together, you're going to come into union. I've heard all of that. And I appreciate inspiration as much as the next person, but I appreciate reality even more. Reality to me is king. It rules all. Truth rules all. And if that other person is not contacting you or being responsive or treating you well, that is truth and reality above anything else. And you've got to see it that way, even with a twin flame. So cry and weep. Come to the acceptance that it's over. It is over. It's like any other breakup, except on steroids. And you can't necessarily forget about that other person. I get that. But you can choose to start going out. Go out with your friends. Go out on dates with other people. Yeah, I said it. Get on Tinder and Bumble and go on some dates with other people. And don't be so bitter and so bullheaded and stubborn that you're not open to experiences with other people. Okay? I know that you feel this incredible connection. But I'm telling you, for the majority of cases I see, it's not working out. And you're perpetually in this state of, one day the union's going to happen, it's going to happen next month. Let's just stir up emotion and excitement to feel good. And it doesn't work. I bring the hard truth because that's my own situation. So I, in a sense, am projecting my situation. But at the same time, so many other people's situations are similar. You're not being treated well. The other person isn't responsive. You're just fighting all the time. Like, is that really healthy? I don't think so. There's always work to do on yourself. Absolutely. The sculpting of yourself, learning unconditional love, being a stronger version of yourself, learning to be detached, accepting your insecurities and flaws and weaknesses. There's so many lessons to process and go through in this situation, and they get revealed by the situation. Absolutely. That's what happened for me. I was made aware of all my insecurities and flaws and weaknesses, and I realized, wow, I have a lot of them. I have a lot of fears. I have a lot of insecurities. I'm afraid of rejection. I did a video called Being Vulnerable. Go watch that video. These are many of the things in that video I learned through this twin flame situation. I know how hard it is for a lot of you. I know how incredibly hard it is, and I feel for you. I really feel for you. I've gone on a lot of dates since being on my own. That was a key. Crying was a key. Deciding to move on was a key. Deciding I was going to live my life was a key. Finding a purpose and mission and vision was a key. This YouTube channel, what I'm doing here, what I'm growing this to, is a key. And these are things I'm doing independent of that other person. This train is going, and it doesn't matter if that other person is in my life or not. And for you, you must do the same. The alternative is to continue as you have been. How is that working for you? Just ask yourself the question. Hey, Kitty, that was funny. Ask yourself the question. How has it been going for you? One of the commenters said, yeah, I've been trying to move on for 10 years. I'm going to take a stab and say that you're spending time thinking about this other person. You're probably looking at their Facebook or social media. You're at night thinking about them. I would take that time you're thinking about them and get involved in something else. A chess club, a yoga class, all these things. You have become so consumed by this person for so long that it's going to be like withdrawal from drugs to get to the point that you can move on. But you must do so if you want to move on. If you don't want to move on and you're fine just perpetually chasing, okay, then do that. You have your free will to do that. But for those of you who are interested in moving on, I've outlined many of the things here that you can do to actually move on. Find someone else. That's what you want to do, and connect with them. As I said, you don't necessarily forget about this other person. This person had an amazing impact on your life. The moving on is for those of you where the other person isn't treating you well or responding or taking you for granted. Even the twin flame or anyone else who does that to you, you must move on from them. I see no other option but to raise your standards for the people in your life. As they go on this journey and grow and learn and understand, possibly I'll learn an even better way to move on. But this is the best that I've come by so far in my 38 years of life. So cry, weep, remember the good times. Get busy, living a mission, vision, and passion for yourself. Rekindle old hobbies. Get your body in exceptional shape. Find something bigger than yourself to commit yourself to. Talk to other people. Meet other people. Go on other dates with people. And come to an acceptance that the situation is over. I know you can do it. This is what's helped me, and I believe this is what will help all of you get past this situation. I know how hard it is. I see it. I see it in your comments, and I see it in all the videos I watch. There's so many people who speak through emotion and wishing that reality is different than what it actually is. And I know how that goes because I was doing that once. And then I came to an acceptance of reality. The quote, "Inner peace comes from an acceptance of reality regardless of how you want it to be," has been a guide for me in this situation as I've seen the situation really as it is. The other person is not interested anymore, and I've moved on, and it's okay. That's a part of life. I wish you all light and love. I wish you so much light and love. I wish you so much happiness, that the things you do in your life that you'll be successful at, that you'll feel good, and that you will be blessed many, many times over. Thank you so much for all of you who have subscribed to my channel. For those of you who comment, I appreciate all of you. I come from the perspective of teaching people to move on where you're not being treated right by the other person. And that's what I teach. And the reward for doing so is a high level of emotional stability and being a stronger version of yourself. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll talk to you in the next video.